Let's see what happens.
We're probably gonna get that countdown, right? We're like,
I don't know.
Hello?
I don't know.
Things?
Oh, something's happening. We're there.
Oh, we're already live?
Here? Is it happening?
It's happening.
I am so out of practice. I forgot how this works. Didn't we get like a countdown or something?
No, we are live.
Oh, okay. Thank you for joining, everyone. This is we are the Deadheads. We haven't done this in I don't know how many years, but I'm the newbie. My name is Tom. With me is Mike and Kyle. So, I'm having a little audio thing on my end, but you guys introduce yourselves.
Mike, go ahead.
Mutual friend of Tom and Cahill. Again, for those who remember when we did the Deadheads the other year, we had Johnny with us who sadly can't make a little audio thing on my end. You guys commitment, so hopefully he shall be with us in future streams, but we'll see what happens. Kyle.
Yep, I'm Kyle. I actually got connected with Mike. I can't remember how long ago, but was doing some scary stuff on YouTube, and then I think I shot him a message and was like, "Hey man, do you want to work together, try something?" And then rest is history. We've been buddies ever since. Got connected with everybody else here, and just solid group of friends. So it's cool to be able to take some time and talk about some movies and some entertainment, man. So just stoked. It's really good to be here.
It's great to have you, man. Welcome to the team.
Yeah. Appreciate it, man.
And I don't know if anybody knows Tom.
Oh, me. I've been at this for a few years.
This is your channel. They know you.
Yeah, I'm assuming they know me.
So yeah, the hot topic for it's been a long time. I think the last time we all got together doing this, we actually got cancelled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something to do. We were discussing a contortionist.
Yeah, and they cut the feed right there, and they gave me a community strike.
Oh Jesus! I think we were using like America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
Feed is like, oh no! We are the YouTube police. You must stop.
You are not allowed to do that.
Didn't even get a chance to contest it. Just boom, strike.
Okay, we've had a message through Matthew via I can barely hear Kyle on mic.
Okay. Let's see here.
Want to see
Try to
Let me.
bring up volume here a little bit.
Let's see.
Unless that's on OBS, if you've got our different lines on there.
Just boom, strike.
Where is that coming in from?
That's come from the chat room on the live stream.
Is that desktop audio? Somebody give me a sound check.
Bicycles, tricycles, testing, 1, 2.
How's that?
Testing. Testosterone.
Oh, grandma, she ain't what she used to be. Ain't what she used to be. Ain't what she used to be.
Let me see if I can get see what the stream's doing. How's that?
I'm actually checking it out now. It looks really good.
It looks fine, yeah.
Okay, I think our audio's better now.
Okay, if somebody could let us know if that sounds
better. Or at least
better.
I am. It's been about 3 or 4 years. Been a while. Anyway, we are here to talk about the year in horror movies of 2023.
It's been an interesting year.
It has.
I will say that self-admittedly, I really kind of slacked on my movie watching this year, but I've got 3 things tonight, or 3 movies that I got to be, just exposed to, and it was just really awesome. So either way, I think you guys are probably going to school me on some movies tonight. I don't care if anything is spoiled for me. I'm just very interested in just what happened in 2023 movies.
So I think, Tom, you put a list together.
I did. I have stuff I've seen, and I don't know what have you guys seen, and we'll just go over and talk about what we got.
The biggest ones of the year, I think. The biggest ones. There's been a lot of returns to established franchises. We've seen a new Exorcist, we've seen a new Scream, and we've seen a new Evil Dead. We've seen a new Saw. And
Yes.
I will point out Evil Dead and Saw.
I did.
They are contenders for my favourite horror movies of this year. I mean, I expected nothing much from Saw 10 or Saw X. I don't think it is actually Saw 10, I think it is Saw X. But just to change the whole narrative and make Kramer the protagonist and give us his story. Yeah. Oh, I was very happy.
That made it my one of my top picks for the year, because I had the lowest expectations for it, and it just blew me away when it made me care about John Kramer. I mean, it made me really sympathize, as someone who's lost people to cancer and seeing him victimized like that. Oh, by the way, there will be spoilers. Okay, massive spoilers. Anyway.
I need to stop my focus. There we go. I'm not better looking than focus, but
you need the gauze.
One of my top picks for the year, because I had the lowest expectations.
There's my hand, yes. Track it.
Just blew me away.
There we go.
There you go.
But yeah, it surprised me.
It really did me as well. I think it covered so many bases. I mean, in regards to we had so many I would say underwhelming Saw sequels. Whether it be Jigsaw, Spiral, or everything after Saw 3.
Yeah.
To have one that's come along and answer so many questions as well. And I love this idea that the rumor is it's going to become the X trilogy.
Yeah,
so not necessarily 10.
I'm ready for it.
I believe the next one might be called X2 and X3, as opposed to X1 in Roman numerals, XI. I think it's going to be X2, X3. And I love this idea that there's, spoiler, a nastier bastard out there.
I know!
Honestly, I think that that was what was really refreshing for me for Saw X, was the fact that, I mean, let's face it, we go to Saw movies to see people get mutilated. It's like, what new fucked up thing can they come up with, to make somebody make a really messed up decision? And I think that the element that had been missing for a while, and I would argue it's even been since Saw 3, is, the punishment should fit the crime. Like the whole rack trap in Saw 3 with, Timothy slowly having all of his limbs being broken, where it's like, okay, like, they made him out to be like he was this horrible person that killed Jeff's son, and when you get there, you realize that he was just a kid that made a mistake, and like he was just as mortified about everything. So like Saw X was just a big refresher when these traps are happening, and you're just like, dude, yes, like please, like I want this to be so painful for these people, and like just it's the first time that like I mean, like you both said, like we're rooting for Jigsaw, but it's on such a deeper level. It's just it's so good, and I went in with the lowest expectations and expected maybe a good-looking movie, but I did not expect to get emotional watching a Saw movie like that. It was incredible.
I know. I got sad at parts, just watching Jigsaw, and I'm like, oh god.
When you get blood-boarded, I'm like, don't do that to Kramer. Right? Dare you? How dare you? The man is dying.
But at least we know he can take it what he dishes out.
This was not on his Make-A-Wish suggestion. Dave.
What's my last living testament will of what I want? I want to be blood-boarded. Done.
Well, where do we get the blood?
Okay, that's the one thing.
That's a you problem, not a me problem.
Because it's like the functionality of these traps. That was the only thing that kind of like suspended the belief for me, where I'm like, how did he get all this tech in Mexico
so quickly?
I don't know.
That was one of my two flaws with the film. That was one of them. The other one was, I assumed that this was how he was able to fund all future projects.
Yes.
And then, sorry, spoilers, it's like, there's all the money. And he just gives it away. Mm-hmm. I'm like, he's a good old soul, he's that John Kramer.
I figured he was already wealthy. I think he owned a lot of patents and things.
Yeah.
But what I want to know is, where does he keep getting those tape recorders? He must have pallets of them.
From his YouTube sponsor.
Oh man, it's okay. And like
Brought to
also,
you by
too, the fact
Panasonic.
that the fact that we get to see John Kramer at home and like he's just taking a nap. And I'm thinking about like where this is supposed to be in the timeline of things. I'm like, you do not have time to rest. Like it's like with all of the people that you have to plan to kidnap with the 3 apprentices or 5, depending on what sequel you're watching. You know, it's like you're like keeping up with everybody, and it's like okay, like we get to see him at home. It was interesting, but then the part of me was like, that's not John Kramer.
He delegates.
It was just, yeah, that's not John.
He has a lot of people on Fiverr. He's just getting people to do stuff for him.
Yeah.
I think the fan service as well. I mean, seeing the return of Amanda, everybody was so happy to see Amanda. And then the mid-credit scene as well. I think Kyle, you do a great impression of that line.
Oh, it's the of all the men to cheat, you chose John Kramer. Something like that. So
That was a great way to
He's like, man, I don't know who John Kramer is.
It was a great way to end the movie. Just in general, it's got me hyped for more Saw movies with Kramer as the protagonist.
Please don't mess it up.
Because they leave her alive. They left her alive.
yes.
Like, good move. Good move.
I was bummed, but I'm like, all right, they're setting her up to be a continuous villain.
Yeah, bring her on. Bring her on.
I guess my question for you guys would be is as far as like if they're gonna do the sex trilogy, what do you guys want to see happen with 2 and 3? Like it's
I want to see her.
it can
through
go
all
anywhere.
3. I want to see her through all 3. I want her to be the one villain. I want her to be the Darth Vader of the Saw X trilogy.
I want to see her keep hiring people, and then John Kramer keeps taking them out.
Because like that would almost like make it worse, where it's like she knows that she'll come out or that he'll come after them. So it's like yeah.
Just like
She's going to continue her business.
she's interviewing her staff. Are you squeamish?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you handle pressure?
Oh my god.
So all in all, what would we give this out of 5? For me, I think I'd give it a 4.5.
That's what I gave it.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that.
I
I mean, yeah, it's because to me, it's like a movie doesn't have to be perfect for it to get a high score. Like it was just a damn good movie, just all around.
It gave the fans exactly what they want. I'd say my personal favourite still remains with the original.
Yes.
As stupid as that movie is, I still love it. I still love it. And I just think this was the best made, it was the best written, it was the best produced. But my favourite is still the original. That's the one I enjoy the most.
Yeah.
Because this film would not exist without the original, obviously.
No.
But one little thing that I also loved at the end, it was the... You know, at the end of every Saw movie, you've got the big game over, and the door's closing.
Yeah.
This one ended with the door opening. Did you pick up on that?
I didn't even.
I missed that completely.
Yeah, at the very end, he opens the door and he walks out into the desert.
See, that's interesting because I like the ending of Saw X is so different, but I couldn't put my finger on it because it was kind of like it just ended, and it was like okay, like there wasn't like a dramatic twist that you were left with your jaw dropped. It was kind of like oh, like the test began and now it ended. It's like all right, this is a different thing, but I didn't even make that correlation with the door slamming or with the door being open. That's really interesting.
It was an oddly upbeat and hopeful ending for a Saw movie.
Yes, there's dozens and dozens of people are going to be died by him and copycat killers. Yes, yes, more people are going to die.
Jigsaw will return.
Right.
That was one of my... So, Kyle, what are some of your favourite movies from this year?
Dude, I can't love Evil Dead Rise enough, dude. It's just, that was so much fun, and it was just, that was an experience where, I went and saw it with my younger brother, and he actually had never seen an Evil Dead movie before.
He and your brother.
Any of them?
No brother of mine.
I thought, well, I mean, he's 19, so he, like, you know, maybe has a bit of an excuse of, like, age, but in the same hand, I figured, like, he at least saw, you know, the most recent remake, but we sat down with our popcorn, and he was like, oh, yeah, I'm excited. I'm like, you've seen the originals, right? He went, no, I haven't. He's like, I just figured I would just, you know, just enjoy it. And basically, we ended up just taking in this movie, and like, he's seen gore before, but I was like, are you okay? Are you good?
Put the popcorn down.
Yeah, right. So, but no, it was awesome, and then got to come home and check it out with Eric, and got to watch it on HBO, and, you know, have a different experience, and he loved it too, and it was just, I don't know, like, to me, it was a nice, refreshing thing for the year, where it was like, wow, like, we get another solid Evil Dead movie, you know, even though it took a little while to make from the original remake. So yeah,
I like how they integrated 3 books from each of the generations of the movies, and that kind of made sense and turned it into like a cinematic universe for the Evil Dead, and of course the Ash cameo.
They say that the 2013 is now a soft reboot, but it's not a reboot because it is of the same universe.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Evil Dead Rise is not a sequel to the soft reboot. It's still its own movie.
Yeah.
Right.
It's still a self-contained picture. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
It was. I was really impressed.
Giving her cake and eating it.
I just read the live stream. Apparently Eric's on here. He said, oh shit, the door did open at the end. Oh my god. That was a big bomb for him.
I thought you were commenting, man. Yeah, as a lifelong Evil Dead fan, what's impressed me most is that we've got to 5 movies now, and there's not a bad one.
No.
They've all got their own identity. The first and second are very similar, but they're still very identifiable. But they've got their own, again, identity. This new one has gone back. It's kind of lost its slapstick appeal, which all the previous had. It's still there underlying, but this is the dark Evil Dead movie.
Yeah.
This is the dark one. Right? I was kind of irritated by the intro that has nothing to do with the story, and then you just shoehorn in something at the end that the girl has been possessed. I was like, okay, fair enough.
There is so much practicality that gets thrown out of the window when you realize that that's like, okay, so she got possessed by all of the demons, and her friend drove her to the cabin, and then she laid down and took a nap. Like, that was like, I was like, okay. I was like,
spoilers.
I forget her name, but who played the mother? Alicia.
Williams? Is that it? I can't remember.
I can't remember her name. She was outstanding.
Oh, incredible.
She was absolutely.
I'm looking her up.
You can tell she was having so much fun.
Yeah, dude.
I was just there for the ride with her. And the whole scenes through the peephole.
Ooh.
So good. It's a clever filmmaking as well. We go back to early Sam Raimi when he was, you know, making all his own jerry rigs with, you know, just duct tape on a board to create a sweeping pan shot. Just put up these interesting angles, and yeah, it was good to see that kind of creative filmmaking done modern. Alicia Sutherland.
Yep.
I got there in the end. She was outstanding. Absolutely outstanding.
So when it comes to Evil Dead Rise, what's your guys' favorite kills that were in the movie?
Don't see if it was a kill, but the tattoo to the eye.
Oh.
Oh God, yeah. Oh shit, yeah. Yep.
Again, it wasn't a kill per se, and I love the cheese grater to the leg.
Mm.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's all coming back.
I blocked that one off.
What's funny is I actually thought that was going to be a little worse than what it was, but it still was not any easier to get through.
I mean, I've scraped my knuckles against a cheese grater. That.
We've all done that. I think all in all, I couldn't, as big an Evil Dead fan as I've always been, I could not give this movie a 4.5. I could only go to 4 at best.
What did I
As
get?
much as I love it. We were all looking out for the Bruce Campbell cameo. I missed it first time round.
Oh yeah.
But it's just his voice on the record.
Yeah.
So what does he say? Is he's something to the effect of like, "Stop, put it away. The book is evil."
It's called the Book of the Dead for a reason.
Oh, it's called the Book of the Dead for the yeah.
Okay, that was cool. And yeah, I still really, really enjoyed it. It's a solid entry. But I think, like every other Evil Dead fan, what we really, really want is one last outing for Bruce Campbell in a post-apocalyptic future.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I think that's the one. But what score would you give this, Tom?
I give it a 4.5.
You go 4.5?
4.5 Bs. It surprised me. It was sufficiently gory, and the performances were just chilling. And I liked the super creature at the end. That concept was just so unnerving.
Oh yeah.
Marauder.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing that kind of bothered me. Obviously, the mother is like it came like there was ranks of demon, of Deadite, and she was like a higher ranking one, and obviously she'd been dismembered. So the rest of the family come together to create the you just kind of completely lost your tactical advantage of attacking somebody from all angles.
Yeah.
To this clumsy lump of flesh. Now, practically, it looked fabulous.
I think it was there to intimidate.
Yeah. And of course, we get the big happy chainsaw kill in a wood chipper. I mean, what?
Yeah. Chainsaw and wood chipper.
What more does a growing boy need?
I love also like when we get wood chipper scenes in movies where it's like sometimes they'll shoot it from the side or at an angle to kind of like, you know, either make the effects easy or make it not so gory. And that's what I loved about the wood chipper kill was the fact that it's like just everything is just getting minced. And I'm like, yeah, like this is what I was expecting from an Evil Dead movie. It's so over the top.
Enormous blood budget.
My number one wood chipper kill still has to go to Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Oh my god.
Pew!
It's
Are you alright?
so funny. I want a sequel to that. What score would you give it, Kyle?
I would probably go with a 4 as well too. But it's a 4 that like it's a lot of fun. You know, I think that there's like again with the beginning and the ending is a little odd. Like I don't even understand why that was there. But out of it we got a pretty decent title card that, you know, was pretty epic. So it's like, okay,
Loved it.
You know, so it was a good time. So I would probably go with a 4. So it was great.
Yeah, good fun. So what else you got on your list, Tom? What stands out to you from there?
Here's one for the fans. Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh my god. So I gotta know. So that's actually one that I've not watched this year, but I'm curious. What your guys' experience? Are you guys familiar with the games, or did you guys only watch the movies or the
I
movie?
put the first.
I've played maybe 10 minutes of the games, so a lot of the references were lost on me. So I was just judging it as the movie itself.
I was judging it on Willy's Wonderland.
Yeah, because I watched Willy's like a week before watching this to, I guess, prepare. And I kept waiting for Nicolas Cage, and I'm like, wait, this is a different movie.
Well, yeah, I think there was a Banana Splits movie as well, which was, you know, your Chuck E. Cheese animatronic style of murder movie.
I still have to see that one.
It's terrible.
It looks it.
Now, is it like?
I think my favorite thing was seeing
or is it like?
My favorite thing was seeing the return of Matthew Lillard.
Zoinks.
Any movie, add Matthew Lillard, it's better.
I'm like, all right. Obviously, he's going to be someone important if they're not going to give him a tiny little cameo at the beginning, and then when he pops up at the end, I was like, oh, okay, that's why they have a name there.
What's funny is actually that movie got completely spoiled for me because of a late night doom scroll on TikTok. So, because I was just, you know, I was deep in it, and then somebody was like, "Oh my God, look, he's the villain," and I'm like, "Oh, well, yeah, I guess that does make sense." So,
Wait. Matthew Lillard is playing a whodunit villain?
I know, right?
What?
Yeah.
Let's see who he is, gang.
What? But wait, there's more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did not expect that. That was good.
I think I enjoyed it more than I expected, but I didn't expect much. I think this is just a point-and-click game. I mean, yeah, it's got an eerie feel, and it's got the jump scares in it. They didn't go all in for jump scares, so well done there. But I watched this movie. They've befriended all the animatronics, and they're making forts with them, and
I found that weird.
This is not what I expected from a Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
Yeah, I get it.
I was waiting for a switch to flip.
I think all in, I couldn't give it more than 2.5 at best. At best, I couldn't go higher than that. What about you, Tom?
That's about what I gave it. Kind of a middle of the road. I think if I was a fan of the games or played the games a lot, the references would have registered more with me and probably earned a higher score. But a lot of it just like I always come back. And I have no idea what that meant. I'm guessing he's coming back.
So when it comes to the scores that you guys gave it, if you could find a way to maybe have it have a bigger score, what do you think would have done better for you?
Turn it into a 70-minute movie. Focus on what people want.
Yeah. Because
sometimes making a movie shorter makes it better.
Sure.
I mean, 5 nights and then how many days? It just felt much longer than it needed to be. The game, from what I played, was pure tension and horror, and there was too many slow spots in the movie.
Oh wow! Because I know, doesn't the main character have he does hypnosis or something when he sleeps to try to recreate memories or something? Because I heard that people said that they focused on that quite a bit.
I just can't remember.
Yeah, he had a sister that was abducted. And he was trying to recall memories of the abductors.
That's it, yeah.
That's interesting, because I know that in some parts of, I don't know if it was the later games, but there were these almost like mini games that you would play that it would turn into Atari graphics, and you would essentially be running throughout this crude looking version of Five Nights at Freddy's, or you'd be in the woods or something, and there were children that you had to either play tag with or something, and usually there was always a jump scare or something like that waiting for you. So but I figured maybe that was their way of flipping it and trying to make it cinematic, since you can't explain it that it's a mini level between a level. So
right, we just had a message from the online chat. Apparently me and Kyle are still a bit quiet and echoey.
Okay, I cranked up your audio, see if that helps.
Alright, here, I won't touch anything on my end, so.
We'll just bar each of the speakers.
And I figured you guys might want to know Mom has entered the chat. She's saying hi, so.
Hi.
So yeah, just an average. I think it's from the lore I know of the game. It's written in very, very well. As far as I know, I think I played the first one. That was all. But all in all, yeah, just mediocre. I did prefer this was Wonderland because Nicolas Cage.
It had a little more style to it.
It's just unhinged.
Yeah.
It's Nicolas Cage beating up toys. I mean, what more?
Die, evil robots, die!
That son of a bitch always took a break.
Yeah.
Because isn't it there's something scary happening, but then his watch goes off, and he's like, nope, 10 minutes, and he just walks into the break room.
Union rules.
So did you watch the other two big continuations? So Scream 6 and Exorcist Believer?
Did not see Exorcist, but I did see Scream 6, and I was actually pretty pleased with Scream 6. It was a lot of fun.
It was okay.
It was alright.
Yeah.
It felt familiar.
Did you see Exorcist Believer?
I saw the first 10 minutes of it. I got bored.
I heard the way that I heard somebody put it was that they said it was dog shit, but I don't know if that's the truth. Because I cannot judge it for myself because I've not seen it, but it would not shock me.
The only good part of it was the recurring characters, and then you get over them quite quickly. Oh, who played the mother?
Ellen Burstyn?
Ellen Burstyn.
Yeah.
She returns. It's good to see her again. And she's pining for Reagan, who's been in hiding for so many years. Of course, get spoilers. By the end of the film, Reagan turns up again, and it's great to see those two on screen together. But the rest of the movie, it wasn't really good.
Not worth the wait to get to that point.
Again, spoilers. This time there's two that are possessed.
Because it's the second movie.
You gotta have the second.
Well, yes, the second movie.
Yeah, the girls that were playing, they were very, very good. But all in, it was just run-of-the-mill, lowbrow exorcism movie. But back to Scream 6. I think I've enjoyed that the most since maybe Scream 3. We've lost our film.
Uno momento.
What's he got?
What's he doing?
I know he's going to fight. I bet he's going to go.
No, we're having an audio issue. I think there's an echo, and it might be coming from my speakers. So I'm looking for headphones.
Oh,
Gotcha. Okay. Yep.
So, give me a second.
He said Echo is fixed.
it does say on the group chat, yeah. It just says fixed. Nice, thank you. Echo is fixed. I think you've already started it, Tom. He's turned up his microphone as well. That is a gift.
Really, it's fixed? I didn't do anything yet.
Apparently so.
Let's see.
All right. Maybe it's something weird with YouTube or Skype.
Perhaps it's the government listening in and they've given up out of boredom.
They are always listening.
For the YouTube.
I'm gonna cover my webcam, but I'm gonna carry my phone with me everywhere. So.
Yeah, Scream 6. It was sad not to see the return of Sid. I mean, we all want Sydney.
Yeah.
We all want Sydney back.
Oh, she's like the John McClane of these movies.
Yeah. Bring it back, Gail Weathers. Bring it back, Gail Weathers as a bitch again. I mean, yeah, I prefer bitch Gail to nice Gail. She's more fun as a bitch. And I'm only quoting that because I know Courtney Cox only wanted to play that character because she was quote unquote a bitch. She was trying to play nice people.
Yeah.
She will not be there for you.
For way too long.
But it's a good misdirection in there as well. But I don't think the two lead girls as impressive as especially Jenna Ortega. She's especially after Wednesday.
Yeah.
She's doing big things. She's become a big name. I just wasn't impressed with the characters.
I kept losing track of who was who.
I mean, I think that what I did like about Scream 6 was the fact that it definitely did not start the way that you thought it was going to. You know, where it was like
out of Woodsboro, bringing it to New York.
Yeah. And it's like okay, like new location, and now we see a kill happen, and it's like okay, cool, and then the mask is removed, and you're like, oh, okay, like because my first thought was, oh, is this gonna flip everything we know, and we know who the killer is the entire time? And clearly, like that didn't happen, because like with how the rest of the intro goes, but. I thought it was kind of a cool subversion. I thought it was something that was really different, but I don't know, like Scream 6 was a lot of fun, but it's a lot better when you don't believe that certain people will die because like with some of the wounds and stuff that they've gotten, because it's like, oh my god, like you got stabbed 17 times and you're being rolled out on a stretcher and you're alive, so it's kind of like, but
I don't think they killed anyone.
Intro, with the copycat killer. I forget his name. The guy that played Flash in the Spider-Man film.
Yeah.
You revealed it already. I thought, we're going to get a movie a bit like Saw 10, where we're going to see it from the killer's perspective. Like, no, just with the real killer. Oh, okay. That would have been a nice new fresh take on it.
I would be interested to see how somebody decides to be the Ghostface killer. You got to go to Spirit Halloween and pick up a few masks. You got to find a partner, because they're always in partners these days. You got to invest in knives. And a personal teleporter, because they still move in ways that I don't know how any human can move.
Even with two of them, it's ridiculous.
Well, we've already given spoilers anyway, so the twist at the end of this one I was quite happy with.
I forgot who.
Obviously, the misdirection from scenes earlier in the movie.
Yeah.
It was good to see how you disassociated the head killer.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to give too many spoilers, obviously. Spoiler territory.
Sure.
But yeah, I thought that misdirection in storytelling, that was well done. I think all in all, because it is a very rinse and repeat formula, especially with Ghostface now, and we're 6 movies in. Best I could give this movie, 3.5. Best I could give it.
I think that probably from like the selection of Scream films, like I would probably have to give it. I'd probably say a 3. Like, cause I mean, it's just, I mean, it's not a bad movie by any means, but it's like it didn't do enough to, I guess you could say, completely blow me away. Because there's something that's really cool about the original when you find out that, oh no, it's not just one person, it's 2 of them, and here they are. So it's I was semi let down with some things, but I still had a good time with it. It definitely wasn't a bad movie by any means.
I did like seeing all the different Ghostface costumes in the museum.
House party protocol.
Yeah.
And they all come to life.
Yeah. Oh God.
And even though it was just like a psycho flashback, it was nice to see Skeet Ulrich again.
I had to give it a 2.
No, not impressed at all. No.
It entertained me while I was watching it, but the minute it was over, I immediately forgot almost everything about it. And it felt so familiar, and it felt like it checked so many boxes. And it's a very trotted formula now. And the first one was brilliant because it subverted all these tropes. And the minute they made a sequel, it became what they mocked. And I just felt like I've seen this movie already. It's a different location, sure, but it's still 2 killers, and you're guessing who the killer is, and it just didn't feel like it broke any new ground for me.
I felt like they were repeating a few steps before, where it was going to imply that I've forgotten the main girl's name. She was getting excited by the concept of wearing the costume and killing. I thought they were going to go down a similar route that they did with Friday the 13th with Corey Feldman's character.
Tommy.
Yeah. Tommy Jarvis. Yeah, where they were going to imply that he was going to be, or she in this case, was going to be the next Ghostface, and then nah, they just blew that one off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just felt like they set up some things and they're not paying off.
Yeah, I don't even know, do we have any idea where they're even going to take Scream 7? Because I know that the 2 lead actors, or the 1 lead actor, is not even going to be in it due to some behind the scenes.
Somebody did comment in the group. Where is it said? Jenna dropped out of Scream 7 to film season 2 of Wednesday. That's from Matthew Vire.
Oh, okay, gotcha. What's up, Matthew? Thanks for being here, man.
What's up, dog? To be honest, most of the comments aren't aimed towards you, Kyle.
Oh, well.
You've got your mom in there, you've got Kyle in there, you've got Chandler in there.
Yeah, Chandler's actually my niece. She's upstairs with Eric right now. They're watching, so. Be on your best behavior. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, so I did try and encourage a couple of you guys a few weeks ago to watch it, but I don't know if you saw it, but when Evil Lurks.
I've heard so much about this movie being good, and I know nothing about it.
I just got Shudder, and I bookmarked it, but I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, I will not spoil this, but this is one of the most refreshing horror movies to come out in a long time. I think it's Spanish language, but I think it's Argentinian. I can't remember. But
okay.
it's it's a movie with a whole world of lore unto its own, where it's got the brutality of the likes of the sadness.
Oh,
jeez.
We're talking severe brutality in several scenes, and it comes at just the right point. And it's all the concept of demons walking among us, but if you kill one unnaturally, you immediately become one. So you can't kill them with. There's a certain law, a certain rule.
What's unnatural?
Firearms.
Oh, so you gotta stab them or something.
I can't remember fully, but oh my God, does this? It just catches you off guard so many times, and again the severe brutality of it. There's a certain scene about 2/3 of the way through the movie. I'm just going to say, for those who've seen it, he drives by the mother and son. Oh God, I'm not going to tell you anything more. You will be like, oh, that movie went there. That movie went there.
Is this going to be a hand-weakening experience?
No, I don't want to say more.
Oh, okay.
But for those who've seen it, if there's anybody in the comments who have seen When Evil Lurks, they will know exactly what I mean. What a movie! It is so good. It's a 4.5 out of 10 without thinking about it.
So when it comes to, like, you're talking about the brutality, because like The Sadness was a movie that set a new bar for me of extreme horror, where I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this film went there. Is this movie more so like, is it just intense and shocking, or is it crude along with what it does?
It's one of
Unless that's like
definitely shocking. It's definitely shocking. It's just such a good film. It's so dark. Do not expect to feel good at the end of this movie.
Okay, so it's not a watch right before bed movie.
It will leave you cold at the end, and the ending is so nihilistic. It's just good, and the character's so real. And you got the lead, the lead guy and his brother, but the lead guy is so stupid that makes things worse when he's trying to make.
Oh, I hate that.
And the scene with the dog. No. I can't say anymore.
Andre in the chat says When Evil Lurks is actually coming to the cinemas on February here in Chile. I'm waiting to see it on the big screen. So, man, could you imagine seeing that on in the theaters, Mike?
I would go to the cinema. I would not take a date.
Not one you wanted to see again.
But that's one of my big recommendations. One of the more under the radar because it's not in English.
Yeah, see, like movies like that doesn't bother me. Like reading subtitles and everything along with it. To me, I think that it's there's something visceral and very grounded about just having a film sound the way that it should. You know, instead of like having something overdubbed. Because even when Squid Game came out, I remember we watched it actually with the voiceovers. Just because it was kind of easier to take in, but then rewatching some clips with just the subtitles, like it made it so much more intense. So knowing that there's a horror movie that's gonna just make me read subtitles, I'm like I'm about it. Like give me the original like pure vision of what you were doing. So
a lot of dub performances don't have that same intensity as the actors themselves.
No.
Oh, that's an intense movie. I believe me, you guys, when you do eventually watch this, I'm expecting a message off both of you saying,
"Damn you!"
I get it.
Was actually what was the movie that you sent to the group chat? It was the I think it was something to do with a saw blade. And it was like some guy's head was like being pushed into it, and like I was like, "What the fuck?" Like,
that may have been The Sadness. It won't have been a saw blade. It will be a woman who takes an axe to her own face.
Oh my god! God,
this is YouTube friendly. This isn't. They were listening in. They'll be getting those keywords.
How do you get the leverage?
Did that say axe to the face? Shut them down. Moving on. Kyle, what do you got for us?
Last one I was really impressed by, and again, it's more of a comedy, but no, Renfield. That was such a refreshing, just fun movie, and I remember being really impressed with Nicolas Cage's performance because I thought that it was going to be, extremely hokey. But the thing is that it was also so grounded where you're like, this guy is a disgusting narcissist. Like, this is so messed up. And just fantastic performances all around. I think my only gripe with the movie was that the blood wasn't practical, but I understand what they were doing. It was supposed to be, over the top and ridiculous, but just a fun, just comedy movie, and just with a good blend of horror and even getting the old scenes that looks like it's from, the original Dracula, how they composited them in and made it look like 1930s footage. It was amazing. It was so much fun.
I still need to see it.
Same. I've had a couple of false starts that something interrupted me from watching.
It's definitely worth it.
I think I just saw Nicholas Hoult and I was a little put off. I'm still not over Warm Bodies yet.
You didn't like Warm Bodies?
Zombies with love. Go away.
Nuts. He does a really good job. Because the last movie that I got to see him in was The Menu. So seeing him in this film was it was a big change of pace for him, and I thought he did really well.
What would you score that one?
I would say just for a movie just to have fun with, it's a 4 for me. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's just because it's one of those that I don't mean it this way, but there's some movies where it's just get the plot out of the way and just enjoy what's happening in front of you, and it's that's kind of what I the feeling I was getting was that it was just it was just a good time. Every frame looked amazing, every joke landed, every intimidating moment was intimidating, but at the end of the day, it's Nicolas Cage's Dracula, so it's completely out of its mind. So
you had me at Dracula with Nicolas Cage.
Yeah. I will check it out at some point. I think it's one that just came and went, and I just kind of overlooked it. I've forgotten about it.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those that there's not even really that much to spoil about it. It's a very fun ride. So
I still like Tom Watts' Renfield.
Master.
So Tom, you seem to have quite a healthy list there that you showed us at the start.
Let's see. Analog.
That's 3 pages.
Let's see. No in particular order. Has any of you guys seen The Outwaters?
No.
It's supposed to be a really messed up found footage movie. I've heard that it's one of the most intense, gross, violent movies ever made, but it's boring. I haven't finished it. I got 20 minutes in and nothing happens. I skipped ahead to see, and it loses its mind. It's batshit insane at the end, but I have no context, so I don't know what's happening. But I have to slog through the other 40 minutes of the movie to get to it. So I have not been able to finish it yet.
I had the same issue with Skinamarink, if you watched that.
Oh, God, yeah.
People were raving about this movie. I'm like, what? I sat through the entire thing. I've not been that bored since I saw Begotten. It's I'm sure there's a deep meaning to it, and you're very cool if you can figure it out. But well done you. But for me,
I had the same issue.
Where is the door? So no, the Outwaters, I will give that a miss then. If that's what's that, half a B?
None, because I couldn't finish it.
So do you think that The Outwaters is one of those movies that probably just burns until the last 5 minutes?
I would say Act 3 is where it really starts to crank up. But I think they spend a lot of time just setting up the situation and the characters, but it wasn't making me care about anyone to keep going, so I just gave up on it.
There's one other big movie of the year which we haven't discussed yet.
Oh yes.
Talk to me.
That's the one I still have to see. Yeah.
You still to see that one?
Yeah, that was actually another one that when Eric got home at one point, he was like, "Dude," he's like, "You need to sit down and actually watch it." So that's actually on the list of things to check out.
I did enjoy it. I loved the fresh approach, this new take, the fact that obviously you shake the hand, you summon the spirit, you allow it to possess you for so long. You know at some point somebody's going to go overboard and things are going to happen, but when it happens to the little brother, oh my word.
Oof.
Oh my word. I shan't spoil too much.
Yeah.
But it was original. He kept its originality very well. I know the ending is quite polarizing. Some people seem to really enjoy it. Some people seem to really dislike it. I was happy with the ending.
I thought it was a good, edgy ending.
Yeah. Which I don't want to spoil too much. If Carl's not seen it, it's on your hit list.
Well, I'm curious because again, I'm not familiar with the YouTubers that did it, but for like having it come from YouTube roots and like those are the people that did it, like how did you feel the quality of the movie translated over to like an actual like big cinematic film?
So I've just looked at the chat on YouTube here. Matthew Vire's giving me some flack. Skinamarink was brilliant, subtle filmmaking techniques used effectively. If you saw that, dude, good for you. You had a better time than I did.
Yeah, that's actually, to be fair, the only exposure I have with Skinamarink is actually a Decker Shadow, because I was kind of on edge the night that I was watching, and I was like, you know what? If I can at least watch the movie with him, maybe it won't be so bad, and I still got creeped out, so.
You did?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it got to me.
I literally got nothing. I just got bored. I went through an entire tube of Pringles.
Wow.
20 minutes in, I was done.
And that wasn't nervous eating of like, oh my god, it's just, yeah.
Boredom eating.
Something happened, oh, it's over, right.
Am I just eating because I'm bored?
I was. But yeah, talk to me. I would give, for originality, I think, one thing I would love to have done, if you keep this in mind when you watch it, you see some of the undead, some of the ghosts, but you only see very little of them. I would love to have known more about them.
Okay, yeah.
I really would have loved to have known more about some of the ghosts that we see. But we only get very little, and it's like the designs of them are so good. They're so freaky, they're so... But they're just there for visual effects rather than psychological effects.
Shock value.
I'd love to learn a bit more about it, yeah. So I'd give this... I'd probably go to a 4 on this one. Yeah, I'd give this a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I gave it a 3.
You have to see it, yeah. Oh, 3?
Mm-hmm. It was alright, but it was novel. It had some original stuff to it, but I just found myself, my mind wandering a few spots. Just kind of stopped caring at some points. I wanted to know more about where the hand came from.
Yeah. They threw in a few different mythologies for anybody to believe that there's a real hand inside, or it's a possibly hand that was cursed.
Yeah, I wanted to see someone break it open. I wanted to see what happens. Next issue.
I liked the originality of it. I did definitely like the originality of it. What else?
Yeah.
So what else is on this list then?
All right. The big technological horror here, Megan.
Oh, God, Megan! I forgot about that one.
Megan.
That was 22.
Was it 22?
Yeah.
I thought came out in January.
Unless it was early release December. You're right. So I remember looking into these and I saw, Megan, and they said, 2022. Oh, okay. Never mind.
If any case, I still saw it in 23.
It was fun. It was fun. I think a lot of people would compare that all day long. When you get a killer doll movie, they're going straight to Chucky.
Yeah.
Or they're going to Buddy. I didn't hate Buddy. From the Child's Play soft reboot. Yeah, I didn't think there was much to discuss with Megan either. It's just a very self-contained, straightforward.
Yeah.
Here's a robot girl. She goes nuts, kills people. She's got a bigger robot and kills it in the end.
Yeah, she can dance.
Like a timeless tale.
Well, especially too, because I thought that with the trailer for Megan, it seemed like they were kind of going this route with, it seems like this is almost like a doll that's like lost its mind or something, where like not only is it evil, but it's got a few screws loose, no pun intended. And because like when you watch the trailer, she's doing that dance, which is just so weird.
That is, I like that.
And I was really hoping that, not that like the dancing would keep coming up, but like that those kind of characteristics of those things would happen, because when it happens in the film, it's kind of random. And you're like, okay, I guess she's maybe scaring this guy, but I mean, other than that, like it was a good time. But again, it's like you were saying, like it's not like it's there's nothing like huge and groundbreaking that happens in Megan, but it's still a lot of fun. It's like a movie that you can just like watch this crazy situation happen, and the kills were pretty decent. So especially the one in the woods, that was pretty wild.
I like the idea that she becomes more sentient towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than just breaking the whole idea of breaking the core programming on her own terms. Yeah, I didn't mind. All in all, it's nothing more than a 2.5 from me. Is Megan.
Mm-hmm.
It's your typical creation. Your creation becomes a monster type thing. I mean, again, you've got the Child's Play references there. You've got several other very familiar storylines.
Someone set this thing to evil.
Actually, I just saw Matt Butler in the chat said Megan had a soft release in Los Angeles in December 2022 and was released worldwide in January 2023. So.
Vindicated.
Ah, okay. That's why when I did my research, it said 22. IMDb is my go-to spot usually.
I do like that for the makeup, they used an actual plastic mask over the actress. Yeah. They didn't do a small wonder where it was just a little girl. They made Megan look artificial, and that worked for me. I bought that it was a robot.
Yeah, because I will say that's one of the movies that the VFX of it worked really well whenever they did have to make alterations, because it's, the main thing that, I always think of with a VFX artist is that if they do their job, you don't notice, so like, so like instead of it being like a big CG creature or things like that, but yeah, the practical use in that movie was really incredible. It was wild.
Just wanted to look at the list that I put together.
What you got?
Infinity Pool. Did you guys see that one?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember which one is not getting good reviews. Is it Infinity Pool or Night Swim?
Night Swim isn't getting good reviews.
Right. Yeah.
Infinity Pool, I did enjoy. I mean, it's me a goth for 2 hours. Yes, I'm going to sign up and watch that.
Of course.
But what I'm loving is it's Brandon Cronenberg, keeping on the family name of this weird cerebral body horror, which obviously David Cronenberg was the original master of. But I'm thinking now is with what Brandon's doing, is Cronenberg going to become a genre unto its own?
I think it is already. I mean, check Rick and Morty. They already refer to things as Cronenbergs.
Right.
Cronenberg universe.
I mean, you get a certain... Is it Kafka?
Who
did the old Japanese... did the Metamorphosis?
Metamorphosis, the big bug?
Yeah. So you do have Kafka-esque movies, and it's like Kafka-esque. Is that a word? But yeah, I think Cronenberg is... Because of Brandon... Yeah, it's a genre unto its own, or it should be. I believe it should be. Because nobody does movies with that mentality, and they're almost exclusively within this bizarre, psychedelic body horror genre that nobody else can really pull off as well. There've been some good ones, for sure. But yeah, no, I think if you look back, like one of my all-time favorite horror movies is Jacob's Ladder. That could have been a Cronenberg movie.
Yeah.
That really good.
Not for sure.
But yeah, it's still a strange one. The whole concept of creating a double of yourself to die. What?
Thing is, when I first saw it, I'm like, why would they name this movie after the pool? You know, because I mean, I thought there was a swimming. They were just talking about the swimming pool. You know, an infinity pool. Most resorts have them. Then it occurred to me that they're talking about infinity, as in making copies of yourself over and over again and dying over and over again. So I didn't. That flew over my head the first time I watched it.
And perhaps pool could be like Deadpool. Is it a contest to see who will survive?
Could be.
Yeah.
Captain Deadpool.
Lord Deadpool. What else did I check out this year?
So, but you would say Infinity Pool is definitely a good one to check out.
You have to be in the mindset.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to be in the mood for it.
You definitely have to be in the mindset. It's quite a demanding watch. It is a demanding watch.
Well, you know, I'm up for the challenge.
Oh, Matthew Viry says, "No one will save you."
Yes. I really enjoyed that one.
Up until the last 5 minutes, as did I.
I thought the ending made it so unique to me, because I'm like, this poor girl's been getting shit on her entire life, and the movie turns into a utopia for her. I was so happy for her.
I loved the fact that they made this character who wasn't just a victim. She kicked ass on air. She kicked air. It was so good.
The was like, let's not piss her off anymore, guys.
Barely a word spoken in the entire movie.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a bit twisted how, you know, the revelation about her friend who she's writing letters to, how that came about. Like, that's a shitty side story, is that? Jesus. You went down that route. But the other thing that let me down about it was the CGI of the aliens. It was very Uncanny Valley.
Oh, jeez.
Have you seen this one?
I've not, no.
Yeah, I don't know what Tom thought.
I thought it made them look unreal. But to me, that worked because I don't know what how an alien should look, but so it looked sufficiently wrong that I couldn't pick out if it was a puppet or CGI in a lot of shots.
Always tell it was CGI.
You could.
And always tell. They were very shiny. Every movement was very fluid. It's and they were highlighted among the background. You know, they always had a different tone or an unnatural light to them, a softness.
It looks like somebody tried to make it work in the scene.
But it was still a fun ride. I mean, quick spoiler to Kyle here, that there is not just your standard average human height aliens. There are some that are very, 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 very tall.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
Then
when they start climbing over the buildings, it's like fake.
Then you got the shorter Kevin Hart versions.
You have the Kevin Hart ones as well, yeah.
They come in all shapes and sizes. So
They do.
They're special. They're special just like us.
We like variety.
They have diversity within themselves, yeah. Well, yeah, the girl was good. The action scenes were good. The CGI was poor. I hated the ending. I really hated that ending. However, Tom seems quite happy with it.
It made me feel good.
But yeah, all in, I can't give that more than a 2.5. It just balances itself out. It's a fun ride, but everything good about it balances with everything I didn't like. So it's not a bad movie. It's not a great movie. It's just a movie. I hoped for more.
Do you think that the journey to get there was worth it to have the ending be tacked on, or
I enjoyed the journey for the most of it. Yeah.
It is a polarizing ending. I read people either love it or hate it.
hated it. I really, really hated it. So she'd been through so much.
Yeah, I didn't see it coming.
And nobody will see that coming. You'll start watching the film thinking, what's happening? And then the credits roll.
I'm still waiting for the day. I'm waiting for the day that a horror movie is ballsy enough to put a main character through so much bullshit for, the hour and 20 minutes that you're with them, that they finally make it out. We see the stereotypical, they've got the oxygen mask on with the robe, and it's like, you're lucky to be alive. And the next day they go to a diner, choke on a French fry, and die in the credits roll. That's what I want.
You monster.
They survive to the end. They survive to the end, but die at the end.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
They die in the epilogue.
Hey, what about Nada? What about Nada in They Live?
Oh, yeah.
He survives to the very, very end, and then all of a sudden he's taken down.
That's true. Yeah. Well, I think it's kind of like what I would like to see is like something that's completely irrelevant, that just like has nothing to do with anything that was happening. Where like, some guy makes it out of a sewer after a monster chases him and he tries to cross the road and a semi flattens him. Where it's like just like, oh my god, like it's like it has nothing to do with anything.
Perhaps like a modernized Monty Python ending.
Where they run out of money.
CGI artist died.
Well, apparently Lindsay says, I wish I was more of a movie buff. I feel like y'all are speaking a foreign language. That's funny.
It's just horror. Yeah, the other one I've got written down here is Knock at the Cabin.
Yes.
How was that?
I didn't hate it. I promised myself that I'd given up on Shyamalan Ding Dong movies after I saw Old. Old just... I'd had enough then. I'd just had enough of Shyamalan Ding Dongs.
Shamalama.
I'm just really happy you're saying it clearly every time. That's amazing.
Well, everybody pronounced it wrong. They always call him Shyamalan. No, it's Shyamalan Ding Dong.
Shalalamama.
It's like, my name's not Mike, my name is Michael. It's M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong.
The people are just as divisive over it as they are about making peanut butter and jelly. So.
Oh dear. But yeah, I really liked Batista in this movie.
He impresses me. For an ex-wrestler, he's a really good actor.
You see, he's a big, intimidating guy, but he's playing a very soft, sweet man who has to do a very bad thing. He doesn't want to do that very bad thing, but the more the movie progresses and the more we're fed what's actually happening, as stupid as it is, it's a very good revelation story.
Well, that's the thing that hurt it for me, because they're talking about taking things on faith, but they're showing the audience that it's actually happening, and I feel like the audience should have been kept more in the dark, along with
to the reality,
to the people on screen, so we can wonder, because as it was, we know it's real, and the characters are behaving, we think, selfishly. But if we were in the dark with them, we would debate, we would wonder, are we supposed to take these strangers on their word or not? But now, but they show us.
To let Kyle in, I don't think this would be a major spoiler. So you have a gay couple and their daughter who are in a cabin in the woods. They get broken by 4 people.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's 4. I believe it's 4. Who say, "We're sorry, one of you has to die, and you have to decide which one."
Yeah, because isn't Rupert Grint one of the people that invades?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And this is the reason why. Again, you follow the movie, but I think Tom's angle would have made a more suspenseful movie, but maybe it'd feel more like The Strangers or something similar to that effect.
Yeah, but
he's a home invasion movie.
Well, I think it's a compelling thing too, because I think that what I always try to look at in films is that you can say this character, just do this and you'll be fine, but I think that movies like that where it really does kind of get into your head of like, shit, if I was in this situation, what would I do?
Andre,
so.
I like Knock at the Cabin, but the ending, not for me. Dave Bautista is amazing, though.
Agreed.
But I could never stop looking at the back of his head. Whenever he turns around, I don't know what it is. There's something at the back of his head, and it's...
He needs to have googly eyes back there.
Yeah.
Is it one of his tattoos?
No, I think it's all the muscle. It's like push his flesh up his head. I can't explain it.
He's so buff, his head is muscled.
All those times he's been pile drived, it's kind of like rippled instead.
It's like scar tissue.
So that's why he quit wrestling.
It's odd, but yeah, I'd give Knock at the Cabin a 3.5, which is probably the best Shyamalan Ding Dong rating I've given since Signs maybe.
Ooh, Signs.
Such a solid movie.
What was the other one I liked? Oh, there was another one I didn't mind. The Village.
I just
I called the twist at the trailer.
Oh really?
Likewise.
Yep.
I was really excited to get new creatures and stuff, and the first time that you kind of catch a glimpse of them when the first alarms go off, I was like, oh my god, this could be really scary. This is what I expect from M. Night. Let's do this. And then it just went off the rails. I'm like, I just don't care anymore. So
the only one I've got left here to mention was one I only watched a couple of weeks ago that caught me off guard. Totally Killer.
Yeah.
Totally Killer?
Totally
Killer was really good.
I thought so.
It's Kiernan Shipkin who did the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. If you've not seen that one yet, it's not dissimilar to The Final Girls.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So you have this serial killer. This girl ends up going back in time to meet her mother as a teenager, who's a complete arsehole. And she has to try and convince everybody. But this is a real timeline, not going back in time to a movie. This is like the real, genuine timeline that she's gone back to. But the killer's still there as a youth.
Oh, wow, okay.
So she knows who's going to kill who, and she's trying to save every one of them. But by interfering in it, he kills somebody else. So the timeline in the future is changing.
Think Back to the Future with more stabbings.
Yeah. But what made this really fun was its commentary on wokeness and how different generations have changed. This is set in the 80s, and she's playing a 2020s teenage girl. But just all these different tropes of 80s movies and how people spoke and how people were treated. And she's like, it's really funny commentary throughout the film. He points everything out really, really well between the generations. But on top of that, it's a fun slasher movie.
Yeah, definitely. As someone who grew up in the 80s, they really captured that feel.
Oh, wow.
It's just a really, really fun slasher movie. And the ending, I love that ending so much. It was a brilliant ending. Which I don't want to spoil. It has to. I do say watch it. And
yeah, no, I've got it written down, man. I'm ready to check it out, man.
Yeah, Matt Butler, Totally Killer is awesome. It's a great film. I don't think they'll be able to do a sequel, but if they do, I'll be all over that.
I really had to suspend disbelief over the mechanism they used to time travel.
Oh yeah, it's a photo booth.
Yeah. But the fact that it was built, just it was.
It's got a knife in it. Because there's a knife in it, it's now a time travel. It's like not a diorama. It's a show and tell thing for a fairground. Or so you've got one friend who's super intelligent. So when she goes back in time, she finds her mother to help build another one to send her back to the future. Yeah. There's a lot going on, but it's just fun. It's a proper popcorn slasher date night movie.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And I'll give
that like that too. It's awesome. Totally Killer. It just sounds good.
Totally killer, dude.
Yeah, for sure. I gave it a 4.
Freddy, dude.
I'm torn between a 3.5 and a 4. I'd probably go to 4 just because even in hindsight, I still enjoy that film. And why is my focus out again? Come on, get me.
There you go.
But yeah, I recommend that one, definitely. You guys got any more? I mean, Tommy, you've got quite a list there.
I also have a lot of misses. The movies I did not enjoy.
Oh, go on.
All right. The Children of the Corn remake.
I didn't even waste my time.
It was dumb. It was so bad.
Oh, how bad are we talking?
No bees.
No, because that's when you...
It contributed nothing. It did nothing new, or even the acting was kind of bad. And the effects were abysmal. It was like Asylum movie bad.
Oh, okay. Oh, dear.
Let's see. Other
Alright, okay.
misses. Insidious, The Red Door.
I missed that one as well.
It was so unnecessary.
So it's from watching the trailer for that, my first thought was, did they film this with low-budget cameras? Because I remember just being, like, not impressed by the trailers, like, because I was like, okay, like, fast forward however many years, we have a new story with Dalton, you know, and with everybody, but it just, again, I don't know the people that made it, so I don't know, like, truly what was going on, but from the trailer alone, I was like, it looks like they didn't care. So
They didn't.
I'm not going to. So...
The story was
Like
dumb.
aside, somebody's mentioned that Split is an amazing movie. It's Unbreakable. That's my other favourite Shyamalan movie.
Oh, yeah.
That was fun. But no, I missed The Red Door. I think I missed... Was it The Ghost Dimension? Or was that Paranormal?
That's Paranormal Activity.
Yeah.
There's so many... And how many Conjuring movies are there now? I mean...
3? I think there's 3.
Oh, no, because you've got the Annabelle, you've got the... Nun,
Oh,
so many
yeah.
Side stories and things like
universe.
that.
Yeah, it's like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
Which one am I thinking of? Insidious? The Other Side? No. I can't remember.
It's probably Insidious: The Last Key.
The Last Key? Yeah.
I remember nothing about that one.
So that's...
I know that there was some demon with keys on its fingers. I mean, that was kind of cool, you know. But it works better as just a costume you wear at a party.
Damn it! Which one is it?
A demon with keys on its fingers. That sounds very Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else you got on this list?
The Meg 2.
The Meg 2.
Mm-hmm. It was insultingly dumb. The first one is no masterpiece, but it was a fun little killer shark movie that was, you know, pretty epic, and, you know, love Jason Statham. And this one was just phoned in. It was bad. The story was stupid. There's 3 sharks, and we didn't care. And it was just so bad all around. I was just waiting for this thing to end. Oh, and there's a giant octopus too. So they just threw that in there.
So don't they do like a jump back to prehistoric times or something, or like is that like for like a brief scene, like, or like how do they handle that?
That's the pre-title card.
Okay.
A long time ago, you see these dinosaurs. A thing gets eaten by something bigger, by something bigger, by something bigger, and finally a T-Rex eats it. Stands on the beach, and a Meg beaches itself to eat the T-Rex, and then slides back into the water, which, sure.
I remember a few years ago, I was looking at the worst shark movies ever made, and that doesn't come close from from the things I've seen.
Oh, I'm sure.
I think if I had a contender for the worst shark movie, I remember a couple of years ago, what was it? James Rolfe, you know, the angry video game nerd. He did his own. It was like the top 40 shitty shark movies. And I watched this, and I had to see some of them, but there was one on there that was not mentioned, and it's called Sharkenstein. Oh my god. Sharkenstein?
Please tell me he had bolts.
Oh
He
no.
had bolts. He was a shark made from pieces of other sharks with the brain of Hitler.
Hold on. Hold on.
First, where did they get it?
Oh, there's some Nazi storyline in there. But what happens is about 2/3 of the... Why is my focus so terrible? Come on. About 2/3 of the way into the movie, what happens is the shark lands itself, sprouts arms and legs, and can breathe fire.
Evolution!
And it's incredible. But the effects of this movie, you won't believe. So, you know about force perspective? It's like, oh, look how big my hand is. I'm crushing your head. I'm crushing your head. Oh, 90s reference. There we go. So it just hold. You can tell they're suddenly just holding a puppet of a shark off front of the camera, whilst the people in the distance are running away.
Oh, God, that sounds incredible. I have to see it.
Yeah, I got to see this now.
It's awful. Now, look, I've submitted you to some bad movies. I've submitted you both to Neil Breen movies before today.
Oh, I still can't bring myself to watch them.
Yeah, no. If it's not with the group of you guys, I'm not watching it. It's not happening.
Oh, definitely with yourselves. Definitely with yourselves.
Yes.
Neil Breen movies are a league above Sharkenstein.
Oh.
Oh, God.
Oh, my.
But
I gotta know.
terrible movies. Tom knows this very well. I love dreadful movies. He knows very well that Troll 2 is one of my all-time favourite films.
Oh my
What people
God!
say. Any time of day, you could put that movie on and feel better.
They're
It's just
eating
a
her.
masterpiece of failure that is just a treasure to watch every time because it's so weird and broken. But I found out recently that George Hardy, the guy that played the father, has just done, well, not just done, it was a couple of years ago, another trash horror movie. It's called Cyst, and I watched it last week. He plays a doctor who's trying to cure cysts. He's a mad doctor, and basically a giant killer cyst is made and chasing people around a hospital. It is god awful.
Sloosh.
And I loved every minute of it. It was so
Okay.
bad.
So
And it was
I
great
gotta
to see George Hardy back on the screen.
Cyst.
He's the guy that does the famous line, you can't piss on hospitality, I won't allow it. I need that on a t-shirt. That needs to be on a t-shirt with Jeff Goldblum. It's... I love
So
it.
I have one sneaking suspicion with this movie.
What's that?
I'm assuming that since it's a giant cyst, there's
Yeah.
probably only one way to kill it.
Chemo?
It's so bad. It's only like 70-minute movie as well, so it's easily digestible.
They need to bring in a giant Dr. Pimple Popper to take care of it.
I was gonna say, please tell me they get a really big, I don't know, spear or something, and then maybe that does it.
A big tweezer.
I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but again, the effects are so bad. Hang on, let me just find it, because the leading lady, she was quite famous in her own right as well. Patricia Haberman.
To me, that's just the full proof that you literally can just make anything. It's like.
Oh,
Cisnado.
Patricia Haberman. Did you ever watch Lex back in the early 2000s, late 90s?
A few episodes here and there.
Yeah, she's the leading lady in it.
Yeah, I've not.
It was a really cheesy sci-fi show that only teenage boys watched because there was half-naked women in it.
That was such a weird show.
So weird. So weird. But we still watched it for the movies.
Well, of course.
There was a teenage boy back then. So have you got any more terrible movies on there? I want to know. Is anything that's so terrible it's great?
Not really. I have a couple others that were middle of the road to better. What did you think of VHS 85?
Black and
that's
Thought
real?
the
Was that
last 3 or 4?
the latest one that came out?
Oh wow.
remember the individual segments. I've seen that many VHS movies now.
There was the virtual reality segment. I'm struggling to remember what the other ones were.
Let me bring this up on IMDb. Which one was it? Sorry, 85.
Yeah. What were the other segments?
I thought that was like a fake movie poster or something. I didn't realize that was actually a movie that came out.
Mm-hmm. It's an anthology of a bunch of little movies.
Right, yeah, because I loved VHS 1 and 2, like, just for what they were, that they were just, thrill rides, but Viral was the last one that I watched, and I just kind of stopped after that.
Yeah, there's 94 after that, and then there's 85.
Yeah,
Oh, God, I gotta catch up.
I don't remember the other segments. There was a person who was transforming into something else.
I'm just bringing it up on IMDb to try and remember.
Well, maybe if it didn't leave that much of a lasting impression, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's missable?
It's an anthology movie. The good thing about them is if there's a bit you don't like, you can just sit and wait for something else that might get you better.
Yeah.
Sure.
There were a couple of there was a camera crew in like Guadalajara or something, and an ancient god wakes up.
Is it also the one that has the well, maybe it's the one before, but the Rat Man?
That was the one before.
Okay.
That was 94. I remember the guy that goes into the alternate dimension. I remember that one vaguely.
Was that the one with the mouth?
I remember this one. The kid's on the boat and there's a sniper.
That's from this one.
That's this one. Yeah, I remember that story.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
You'd think.
It's pretty savage, is that story?
Yeah, it's brutal. It's brutal. Is it satisfying?
I think that's one of the things I did like about the VHS series as a whole. With what I took in was that they just like nobody was safe. It's just the fact that it's like no, this terrible shit's happening and anybody can be attacked by it or killed by it. Like the alien sequence in VHS 2, like that's probably one of the more like scary ones that actually like freaked me out because I was like, oh my god, like again, like what if this happened? So.
I still might say my favourite segment from the second one. I think it was called Safe Haven, where you had the cult.
Oh,
God.
That one was freaky.
Oh, I loved that. Loved that so much. And then when the pregnancy happens and everybody's giving themselves, like, whoa, this is gnarly.
Papa.
It's like this. The one dude with all the carvings on him just explodes out of nowhere, and you're like, okay, like you're just.
The first one, I think it was called Date Night, with the girl that turns out to be the monster.
Oh, the possession one?
No. She's like a were monster.
Oh.
It did turn it into a full feature called Siren.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the succubus or kind of thing. Her face would split down the middle.
I never want a woman to look at me and whisper "I like you" ever again. Like that movie ruined so much. Like it was so freaky. But it was so.
I like you too.
Yeah. Because I think that it was cool the fact that it's like they were essentially just trapped in the bathroom and like they were at the biggest disadvantage. It's just that was so intense. But yeah.
Yeah.
I actually remember discovering VHS because there was a channel when I first signed up to YouTube. There was a channel I was following called Chad, Matt, and Rob. If you've heard of them.
No.
And they used to do like short little horror movies, and one of them was really funny called Chad Hates Aliens. And if you've ever seen Chad Hates Aliens, it is really, really funny. But at the end, there's like a really dark twist. And these were done so well, and they said, oh yeah, we're working on this movie called VHS. And they're the guys that did the final segment of the first movie, and that's where all the hands start coming through.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah,
and that's Chad, Matt, and Rob.
Oh, okay.
Look into them; they were amazing. They're like one of the greatest YouTubers out there on the platform, 15 years ago, and they've just vanished. They just vanished.
Now is that the? Because I remember like being younger and like this. It was this like viral video of. It was like I think the title was saying something like real ghost footage or something, but the hands and everything coming out of the walls. I remember seeing that fact that it looked like it was almost exactly the same thing. So I'm wondering if that was their video.
It may have been them. It may have been them.
I thought it looked familiar.
It was with the Jersey Devil. They did a video as well. But they just did some really, really good stuff. They were like the first group I can think of that were doing genuinely impressive short, horror features, 2 or 3 minutes long. But yeah, Chad, if you look up Chad Hates Aliens, it's really funny. And then the final scare is like, oh damn! This was 15.
I'm gonna look that up. Chad.
Chad
Yes, I'm writing all this stuff down.
And yeah, it's just little short movies. And then they did their first interactive movie as well. I think it was called The Adventure. So you watch the first part on YouTube, and then this is before the title cards came up. You could click where you wanted your story to go next.
Yeah.
Should we go into the desert, or should we go follow the river? And then you
kind of choose your own adventure thing.
Introduced that so many years ago. Very, very good. But yeah, they're the ones that introduced me to VHS.
I love that so much.
We need another ABCs of Death.
Oh my god. Yeah.
26 movies in a movie. Give me more of that.
Let's do one. Let's do our own. Let's do the ABC. Let's do our ABC of Death.
So what? I think that if they're going to have 26 films in each film, that means there has to be 26 films of ABCs of Death.
I still say out of all of those, my favourite was Zeddy's for Zygotes. And that's the one with the baby, where the mother that refuses to birth the baby.
Yeah.
She goes like 12 years old inside, and
it's just that was just it.
I love that. I love that one so much.
Ew.
I think we've run out of movies to discuss from this year.
I think so. Is there any ones that I'm thinking of that I haven't thought of yet?
The only one that may fall into the bracket of horror, but to me it does, which I really, really, really want to see. I might go tomorrow. Is Godzilla -1?
Yes. I haven't seen that yet.
Do nothing but just talk about that movie.
I must see this movie. I don't think it's cinema, but as you can probably tell, I live in England, so getting Japanese movies out here, you need to go to the big cinemas with 100 screens, which I don't live near. It's like,
So
damn, how dare you not cater?
What would be the closest theater to you that would be showing something like that?
Probably London.
Really? Okay. Wow.
I'm about 2 hours away.
Yikes.
Oh, jeez. Man, you really gotta want to see a movie.
You gotta make a day out of it.
The good thing is, it's the bus ride there and back is £12, so about $15. So that's the good thing. But it's
Not too
London.
bad.
Which is London. It's insanely expensive.
Oh, I'll bet.
Jeez.
A theatre ticket in London will be £22-25. Call it, $28-30.
Sheesh.
Insane. Andre Urzier, Godzilla -1 is awesome. I've heard. I need to find out.
I've actually, from even just the small clips and stuff that I've seen, I've been. I mean, not that like the Godzilla movies have, ever tried to be realistic with, their compositing and things like that, because we know what we go to see. We're going to see, a giant kaiju, take everything down. But in the same hand is that I've really been enjoying the VFX work I've been seeing from -1. Like, it looks like, again, like people actually cared about what they were doing and made a really solid movie.
Other than that, I think the only thing that I'm really looking forward to is Ghostbusters Frozen Empire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to this.
Yes.
Really looking forward. I saw that trailer and no pun intended, I got chills. I didn't hear Ray talking. I heard Dan Aykroyd talking about his love, because everybody knows he's mad. He's so devoted to this otherworldly, ghostly side of things. And when he's talking about the frozen death, about when he comes, the last thing you'll see is your own eyeballs freeze over.
Ow.
That sounds.
seems like they're trying to push the envelope and like almost like kind of just make it darker.
I think people forgot. It's like you had the first movie, which was genuinely scary. I mean, the librarian at the start.
Yeah, that freaked the hell out of me.
Get her!
It's like, are you sure this is a comedy?
What always got me was the zombie taxi driver. You see it for maybe 3 seconds. There's this zombie. It's not a ghost. It's flesh. I'm like, that is terrifying. The second one came out for kids because of the cartoon, and then the comic books came out, and then you had the Extreme Ghostbusters. Everything was child-oriented.
Got soft.
And even when Ghostbusters Afterlife came out, that was still somewhat child-friendly. This looks like it's going to be a scary movie.
Yeah.
It looks like it's going to have genuine scares in there. Even though they're going to be light scares to horror fans, they're still going to be scares. And I'm looking forward to that.
Definitely.
For sure. I think there's also something about the ice aesthetic too, like that just like it sets the bar and just completely separates it from the first film. Well, the first film of that trilogy.
Yeah. That's probably my big movie for the year. That one and Argyle, but that's another story.
Argyle does look like fun.
I would have to say that still my favorite horror movies that have come out recently, which I mean it's 2022, but both Smile and Barbarian, like those two have just they have not been dethroned as far as like new horror movies for me. So I'm hungry for more stuff for sure.
Wait till you see When Evil Lurks.
See, yeah, that's I
Oof.
got a high feeling that's gonna do
Gotta check that one out.
That's my two favorite movies of horror movies: Saw X, When Evil Lurks. I can't decide which one I prefer more. I can't decide. Very different films.
Yikes.
So do you think that because with Saw X, like I know that's been like one of the few Saw movies that I've been able to watch over and over again. Like I loved it so much that I actually pre-ordered it off of YouTube and have access to it like all the time. Like, do you think that When Evil Lurks has like rewatchability to it of enjoyment, or is it more of like go through the thrill rides once and be shocked?
Definitely, because the mystery, when you, like I say, the film has its own universal law. For the first 20 minutes, 30 minutes of the film, you don't have a clue what's going on. You're just listening to what these characters are saying and not understanding why. And then later you understand why. So yeah, I will definitely repeat watch it just to see that first half of the movie again.
Nice. Okay.
And then if I pick up something on the rewatch, then I'm going to see how it affects the latter half of the film. There's one particular character, I forget his name, but you see him straight away. You see, there's a possessed man who's completely bloated, cannot move. He's just leaking and horrible and nasty. And yeah, there's more to that character that I want to go back and watch. So I'll definitely rewatch.
It's not a popcorn movie.
It's not a popcorn movie. It's not a date night movie. It's just to sit at home, turn the lights off, turn the sound up, and keep the toilet paper on standby movie. Mm-hmm. It is
keep the toilet paper.
It's brutal. It's savage. It's gory. It's got heart. It's got great characters. It's got the right amount of stupidity. And
we like stupidity.
You don't know where you're going. You don't know where you're going with this ride. Yeah, very, very good. And the shocks. Oh my god, the shocks.
Oof.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 on the shock factor.
I know for a fact that if a movie definitely shocks you, then it's got to be up there, man. So I gotta know.
There were 2 or 3 moments where I was just like, oh.
That's all I ask of a movie. Surprise me.
That will. Maybe not in a good way.
As long as it's a surprise, there's no good or bad. It's just if it's not something I see coming.
It's all bad. It is all bad.
Give me that moment.
Oh, you'll get several. You will get several.
I didn't
want to spoil it. Mention the dog, and I mentioned the scene where he drives past the mother and son. That's it. He was like, no.
I always judge a movie by how many times it makes me say, holy shit.
Yeah, right.
You make it more than me.
Oh.
You make it more than me. I dived down the disturbing cinema hall a long time ago. Yeah, I've seen things.
Yeah.
I've seen things.
things
like,
you shouldn't understand.
You can talk about the unrated version of a Serbian film. Yes, I've seen that. You know,
Which one did I see?
Feel Good Family for all the. I've been down the a lot of further than that and seen stuff like the American Guinea Pig films and the Vomit Gore trilogy and all that.
Oh my God.
I also loved how it had the I don't know if you guys saw the picture that was floating around for a while, but it said suggested children's movies. And I think it was like holiday themed things, and it went from like Ernest Saves Christmas, A Christmas Story, and then the third one was Human Centipede.
Yes.
And somebody left a review, and they were like, "Oh, such a wonderful family film, a movie about love and a movie about connection."
Brings people together.
And somebody, a mother, commented and went, "Oh, I can't wait! My family's coming over this weekend, so I'm going to make sure that we watch this together as a family." And I'm like, God, if I could be a fly on the wall, dude, I gotta know.
What the?
The only one that I've missed and had this recommended was Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I heard that was awesome. Like fun, awesome. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember, was Terrifier 2 23 or was that 22?
22, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
That was brutal.
Oh.
That went on way too long.
Too long.
Isn't it like 2.5 hours or something?
It's not far off.
Yeah, it's pretty long.
Hey, I just saw Evil Lurks is already available on pre-order UK Amazon Blu-ray.
Oh, really?
Mm.
You might have to spend some bones.
I think it's Argentinian. Yeah, it's Spanish spoken anyhow, but that doesn't bother me. It does not bother me at all. The little Spanish I know gets me by.
See.
I know how to say there's a party in my pants and where's the bathroom.
¿Dónde está la biblioteca?
Casa de Pepe.
Or like John Panette when he's like, I know how to say feed me, I'm hungry in 46 different languages just in case.
I only know how to say one thing in French though. And that's the only phrase you'll ever need in France or Canada. That's, Je vais soin des papiers toilettes. Can you pass me some toilet paper?
Ah.
No matter the situation, that will always be useful.
That was voulez-vous coucher?
The cheese is old and mouldy. Oh no, I have heard that before as well.
Avec fromage.
Omelette au fromage.
Je m'appelle Robert.
Oh man.
I don't know what's happening anymore. Right, shall we wrap this up?
I think so.
Yeah, I think that we've caused enough damage tonight. We've done a great job. So.
Pat on the back, guys. And next time we're gonna shake out the bugs sooner. Figure out what the hell's going on.
No, I appreciate everybody jumping in tonight and everything, whether it was from Discord, if it was from anywhere else, guys. Thank you for being here. This has been a lot of fun. So.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming. And
okay, we'll try and get on again sometime soonish. Maybe not leaving so many years.
yeah.
You come with some
you, yes.
new ideas, new discussions,
Yes,
and whatnot.
You missed us, we missed you.
Yes, it's been a while.
It's been a while.
The shame we can't do the dance off anymore because that always got flagged.
Yeah, so not taking a risk anymore. We'll
Tom, I will bid you good night.
All right.
I will bid you good night.
All right. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. And
You guys be safe. You enjoy.
yeah, we'll see you all later. Toodles.
Okay.